Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Sunday afternoon. Hope we're all okay. Hope we're all right. Hope the weekend has treated you well, whatever you've been up to this weekend. I hope it's been a good one. Obviously, busy day today. Obviously, England playing 8 o'clock tonight versus Spain in the Euro 2024 final. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about the Saudi potential bid for Emerson Royal. We're going to be talking about the preseason friendly game that happened yesterday. Obviously, I didn't stream last night, so therefore didn't speak about it. And yeah, I want to talk about his Bradley Locko interests. So we'll talk about that as well. So plenty to talk about, plenty to get into. Just want to say that if you're watching this and you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. Morning, Van Gogh, mate. My exam was a bit of a failure, but I'm 99% sure I'll be accepted to uni. Well, do you know what, mate? Doesn't matter about how you do that exam. It's about getting into the final. Well, just winning what you need to do and getting in there, you know? So there you are. Morning, Tony, mate. How are you? Morning from Canada. God, it must be early for you, bud. Morning, Spurs. Oh, well, morning, Spurs, but afternoon, Spurs. Afternoon, Tony, obviously. Buzzing for the game. Come on, England. Yeah, absolutely, Tottenham. Agreed. Morning, everyone. Hope we're all well. How are England nerves today? John, they're not too bad, actually. They're not too bad. I think this will be the longest 8 hours, though, of my life. You know, the Champions League final day that we had? I was waiting around all day for it. And, yeah, it was an awful few hours leading into it. So probably, you know, in the next 5 hours, probably about 5-6 hours time, then I'll start to get really nervous about it. But for now, there's not a lot you can do, is there, you know? So, yeah. England 2, Spain 2-1. I hope not, Aussie Spur. Was there a stream yesterday? No, it wasn't, Les. There was no stream yesterday. There was one in the morning or afternoon, in theory, you could say, at lunchtime, but there was no evening one. Morning, Zane. How are you, mate? Or afternoon, Zane. How are you, mate? You all right? Who's Locko? Well, I'll tell you. Give us a sec. Technically was calf day, yes. Terrible, Donna. Anyway, let's jump in. Let's talk some stuff. So I want to start with the Emerson Royal report. So Nicola Shearer said that a Saudi club has submitted to Tottenham a bid of 20 million euros to sign Emerson Royal, who's agreed personal terms with AC Milan for a contract until the 2029 and is still waiting for Milan. Milan have not reached an agreement with Spurs on the transfer fee as of now. So just to give you an exact figure, 20 million euros is just over 17 million pounds. So I thought Spurs would get about 17 million pounds. You know, I know Al Nassr offered 21 million in January, but 17 million pounds right now, I'm taking every day of the week. I'm doing this deal for me. Obviously, the structure of the deal has to work. You know, I get that, and you know, all those sort of things play a part. But you know, when we're asking around 20 million for Emerson Royal, well, we kind of already got that with Saudi. Saudi might stretch a few extra million as well, so there's that you could hold on to. And the other thing I would say, this will need to bring Milan to the table. This has to bring Milan to the table with a legit bid, because so far they've not given us anything. You know, I actually tweeted, I quote tweeted it and said that Saudi putting pressure on Milan to come to the negotiating table with a credible offer. I love it, and that's true. I do love it, because they've tried to play this weird long negotiation, and Milan have been trying to do it with every club so far. They tried to do it with Xerxes, they tried to do it with us. You know, Fofana, they'll probably end up doing it in Monaco. Salzburg, they've sent back that, you know, they all these things. They've been trying to play hardball with a lot of teams. It gets to a point that if you keep playing hardball with too many teams, you're just going to piss them off, and they're not going to want to deal with you. So you got to be careful. But yeah, I think we still sell Emerson, and you know, I think the Saudi thing's a good thing. I think this will force Milan to be not to be rude, but a proper team, a legit proper team. You have to come to the negotiation table and stop living in this fairyland where you can get everyone for pennies on the dollar, you know? Well, Donna, you keep saying odd things, so there's nothing else to say but terrible, Donna. 3-0 Spain, I hope not. Hey, Andy, if England were to win... England will win anyway, mate. I don't need to worry about it. Bentancur isn't injured, no, and he took a great penalty yesterday, Bentancur, and he scored yesterday in the third place playoff against Canada. So Bentancur was fantastic for Uruguay yesterday. Here in The Guardian, that apparently we're in box seat signed Jonathan David, and also that Man United hasn't signed Tony as of... No, they haven't signed Tony. He's still in the Euros, mate, isn't he? He plays today. So, there we go. So, a little bit on Emerson. Moving slightly on. Tell you what, let's quickly give you an update with the Dele Alli deal, actually, so I had something here. So they've obviously, it looks like they're going to come to an agreement, Spurs and Everton, for the deal. Within the agreement that says that any immediate payment, should they agree on a new deal for a midfielder, looks like it could be scrapped or at least lowered. Also, Alistair Gold said that they understand that there will be additional payments due to Tottenham based on certain objectives being met, as well as a sell-on clause should Ali move on from Everton. So it looks like Spurs will still get money out of this if he starts to play for him and does well. And also, if he gets sold on, there will be some money there. So that's a little bit of good news for Dele, and I still think it's an all right deal for Spurs. We're not getting mugged off, which is nice. Also, just talk about the game yesterday because it's on the same webpage. So it just makes sense. Obviously, playing Cambridge yesterday, there's plenty to come out of this game, actually, that was quite good. Was it 7-2 win in the end? They sort of had two different halves of football. The first half was, with all the main players playing when they won 5-0, and the second half was 2-2. So looking at it, new signings Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall made their first appearances in a Tottenham shirt, while Timo Werner, returning for an extended loan period next season, and also was used. They were talking about Archie Gray. Apparently, he's been catching the eye in training. He's believed to play right back in for Tottenham in the second half, with Bergvall playing as a creative presence in the midfield. In the first half, Brennan Johnson hit a hat-trick, which is, not bad. And Heung-Min Son was in blistering form with a brace of goals. So the five goals were Brennan Johnson and Heung-Min Son. Porro, Basuma, and Kulusevski all played the first half, while Manor Solomon also got his first minutes of 2024. Maddison, Werner, Skip, and Emerson were among those playing in the second half lineup. So a little bit of a mix, a little bit of youth in the first and a bit of youth in the second, with first team is spread across that as well. Looking at it, Jamie Donnelly actually filled in a little bit as a left back, which was odd. I didn't expect that, but apparently he did very, very well at left back. Janai Byfield, who only turned 16 in March, was playing at centre back. Apparently, very, very good. Mikey Moore obviously scored, which was nice in the second half, as well as own goal. Tyrese Hall, George Abbott, Luca Gunter, and Mikey Moore all played in the second half. He also played off the right wing, which is interesting. Yeah, he played off the right wing. Looks like Spencer Reguilon didn't feature at all. Valise and Scarlett both spent periods of the game up front in attack, while Richarlison was spotted watching on from the bench. So there is that. So, a little bit of good news on the game. Lots of good performances to take out of that game, that's for sure. Johnson scored a hat-trick. Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it, Van Gogh. Have I missed anything? Do you know that Julian Alvarez has a reported... well, it's not confirmed, Marshall, that he is a report. It's 50 million. It's reported that he may have a release clause, but it's not said what it is. Bentancur not injured. What channels? I don't know. Johnson scored a hat-trick. Yeah, didn't Bentancur play against Canada and score? He did score, and he scored a penalty as well. G'day, Persify. How are you, mate? You all right? Is there any tape on Brennan's hat-trick? I'm not too sure. Yeah, Moore with a goal. Hey, Callum, mate, you all right? Yeah, he played off the right wing, Mikey Moore, and scored a goal, because I think Timo featured in the second half off the left. Kyrie's picked the hell of a time not to come into the stream with Brennan Johnson score a hat-trick. He will say it's a League One opposition, but Locko's highlight reel is pretty amazing. I know you take these things with a grain of salt, but the kid looks dazzling. Looks like he could potentially play centrally as well. Well, we'll talk about him in a minute. Not ban him. Donnelly featured at left back. Apparently was very, very good. Not sure what to make of that. But hey, we just put creative midfielders everywhere. We're going to play 2 centre backs, a goalkeeper, and just creative players everywhere. We're going to do the opposite of what Man City and Arsenal are doing with centre halves playing fullbacks. We're just going to play creative midfielders everywhere instead. If money was no problem and all players were available, which 5 players would you choose? Oh, Malcolm. Well, give me Eze. Give me Edison. Well, Calafiori would have been nice. Give me. I'll tell you what. Give me Archie Gray, but I'm going to use him as a bit of a right back as well as a centre mids. Give me Yorkeres. So they are somewhat reasonable. There's players that we've all been linked to, but I'm not going to be sitting there going, right, I'll have Harry Kane back. I'll have this, I've tried to be realistic with that. Would you like Tottenham to buy Alvarez? Is great, but we're not getting Alvarez. We're not getting Alvarez. Not in a damn chance we're getting Alvarez. Still, it's damn impressive. 3 goals and probably assist to 2 and 4. Oh yeah, brilliant. I mean, a hat trick in the first half of your first pre-season game as well. Let's not forget that. It's not like he's, building up form. This is straight off the bat, which is great. I mean, look, if Johnson, like I said, they said they would have Johnson bought last year, but he was actually more so for this year. He wasn't supposed to feature as much as he did last year in terms of starting. So that's why I've always kind of been like, look, just give him a chance this season. Second season, pre-season with Ange, a year in the system. Next year, that'll be the year that he's going to sort of pop, hopefully. And if he takes that, I tell you what, all he needs to do is take a 10% step, and we've got a player and a half there. So fingers crossed. First goals of many in this pre-season. Donny at left back is cursed. Yeah, cursed for other teams, dude. Lowest spend over Julian Alvarez all day, in my opinion. Oh, bold, Madzi. I honestly hope Emerson leaves ASAP. Getting tired of him not gone yet. Next week, best sign attackers and a 6. Well, let's start from let's start from tomorrow and see how this all develops, because obviously the Copa final is tonight, if I'm right in saying. Copa America final. Let me just quickly double check. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. Argentina, Colombia. So you got to think from. I'd probably say Tuesday. Tuesday would be the day that you probably start to have a real development in the market. It may be only small development, but that will then lead to bigger developments going forwards. Just because obviously they're playing at 1 a.m. Got to give them time to wake up and after their night of football. We're looking for a goalkeeper, but don't we have Austin though? Well, we got a lot of keepers I think will get a chance in pre-season. Look, let's see what we have there. And if someone's solid, we won't go for a keeper. I think Johnson will be benched a bit more to not overtire him. Well, he's going to be playing 4 competitions, so there's plenty of chances from next year. Who you got for Copa? Well, if Argentina don't win it, then they will be, for me, I will label them as a bit of a bottle job. You know what I mean? The Copa, I love the Copa, but also it's Colombia in the final. You should win that one. And that shouldn't go to extra time. You should win that one. They should beat a team like Uruguay in 90 minutes. This is your world champions after all. So if they bottle it, all I'm going to say is Messi's legend might take a little bit of hit if they bottle it tonight. That's all I'm going to say. For people that, twerk for Messi's legacy, he has to deliver today. Has to. I mean, he bottled that penalty the other day, didn't he? He tried to hit it down the middle and it went off the bar. But no one ever talked about that one. It was really weird. And it was like, right. It's because, people talk about PR. It's like Ronaldo's PR, Messi's PR. Messi can do no wrong, apparently. Crap penalty. He's no Harry Kane. He's no Cole Palmer. He's no Ivan Toney. He's no Trent. He's no Saka. He's none of our boys. Messi wouldn't be in our top 5 penalty takers. Wait for someone to cry about Messi. No, Messi's best player in the world. Cry. Come on. And wait for people to be like, oh, actually, Messi's like really good. It's like, oh, just gonna put my bait out there and wait for some nibbles. I'm just waiting for some nibbles. There was some nibbles about Aston Villa. There's a lot of people that thought I was digging out Aston Villa yesterday, which was mad because I was like, oh, I really rate Aston Villa's transfer activities. They're really efficient. You know, I quite like Onana. I think Matson's a really good left back. And all I heard was people going, oh, yeah, you hate Villa. Oh, yeah, this. And I was like, you've not listened to a word I've said. Do you need to put the subtitles on so you can read what I've said as well? Because if that hates Villa, then good Lord, all of their fans must hate their own club. I was praising them. I was actually like, lads, you're doing really well. Fair play to you. I was just like, I think Luiz is a really good player. I think he's better than Onana. I still rate Onana, though. But apparently he can't say that. Johnson and Neto can rotate a right wing. Kula can fill at 10. Not Kula at 9. Kula at 10 maybe, but not 9. Relieved Ben Score is not injured, but still think what he did was off the mark. Can't believe some people equate what he did to the same as Nunes. Two completely different actions. Well, I mean, again, develop it. I already talked about it. I've already talked about it. Would you give up on Eze for Neto? Yeah, probably would. Yeah, now I probably would. We want Romero to win today. Yeah, we do. We want Kuti to come back buzzing. Would you take Grealish from City? Probably not now. Lol, 1 World Cup and 1 Copper. I knew it. I'd get someone to buy it. I knew I would. It's too easy, this game. We're in talks with Due, according to Fab, might be misquoting. Messi or Celtic's Jota. I'll wait for, I can't remember what his name was. The guy that was a crybaby. Wait, he'll be in here going, well, Jota's better than you at football. No, I'd definitely take Jota over Messi. Messi would take pens right-footed for England and be your best penalty kick taker. Okay, so my guy's never seen Ivan Toney take a penalty. Cole Palmer took like 10, scored 10 this year. Come on, Robert. Back into the room with us. Come on, come jump back in the room with us. If anything, I was digging out Villa and you were misreading me out. Sorry for that. No, honestly, I found it funny. It just all it is, it shows levels of IQ. If people can't, decipher me looking over here reading and then me talking to the cameras, that's me reading, that's me talking. Why is my face so red today? I don't think it is. My nose is slightly red. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Just check Fab News on Twitter, mate. Could be wrong, but if he comes in, I'll happy. Kane with the pens. Well, there's also Kane. Anyway, moving on, because I don't really care about Messi. I care about Christian Romero, who's been their best player at this tournament. I don't really care about him. Messi, obviously, or DePaul, his bodyguard, or anyone. I'm caring about my guy, Christian Romero. So hopefully Argentina win, just for his sake, to be honest. And Giovanni Lo Celso. Those two, my two boys. Anyway, let's talk Bradley Locko. So Paul O'Keefe yesterday evening put out the Spurs are considering Bradley Locko as part of a potential left-back option. Nothing advanced, but a player of interest. So again, you can kind of say it's part of the list that Spurs have at the moment. So he plays for Brest, or Stade Brestois 29 or 29. Not sure how they would go about it. They finished third in Ligue 1 last year, which obviously for them is massive. They're finishing above Lille, Nice, Lyon, Lens, Marseille, Stade Rennes, finished above all those teams. So that's an amazing achievement. They finished 6 points behind Monaco and finished 15 points behind PSG, which, that's all things considered, it's not too bad. They played 34, won 17, drew 10, lost 7. They conceded a goal a game and scored 53 in that 34. So a 19 goal difference, which is pretty good. You got to remember, this isn't a massive team in Ligue 1. I mean, their stadium capacity is less than 16,000, so they're not a massive team. So he's 22. He turned 22 about just over 2 months ago. So yeah, he's left back. I mean, some people talking about maybe centre back. I'm not too sure. I look at him more as a left back for sure. He's about 6 foot, 6'1", I think he is, something like that. Someone might correct me on that one, but I think he's about that. He's played one game short of 100 games in his career. playing in the Ligue 1, the National 2 Group B, and the Coupe de France, which obviously that's their French Cup. He does give me Destiny Udogie vibes. I do kind of get that feeling from him. And I was talking about like Patrick Dorgu from Lecce. And I said the reason why I quite like Patrick Dorgu is because he kind of, if you were to drop Udogie or like you rotate or he got injured, the play style on the left wing is still the same. That athlete, that sort of bombing forward-esque player that you're not looking for them to create as much, but more link up. Whereas on the right, when you look at Pedro Porro, we look at Pedro to create. We look to get him get on the ball and whipping balls in and things like that. So I quite liked that idea. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and say I watch Stade Brestois every single week because, if I'm honest, I don't. Now, transfer market valued him 6 weeks ago at 12 million euros. So let's just call it 10 million pounds. And obviously, you're probably looking at probably double that because his contract expires in the summer of 2027. I don't hate it. I don't. Also, by the way, his name, Bradley Locko Banzuzi. Whoa. Should have been using the Banzuzi name. That's a belter of a name. I saw, was it Data MB were talking about Bradley Locko? Which is, they were talking about Desiree Doué, which I just skipped right past. But they talk about Bradley Locko and like his sort of defensive work, and comparing him with the other top 5 league under 21 fullbacks. He had the most passes, most interceptions, defensive duels, successful defensive actions. He was second in accurate progressive passes, forward passes, long passes, and progressive passes, which is quite nice. And then third in accurate long passes, progressive runs, and passes to penalty area. So hugely impactful for Brest. So, I think one of those, let's just keep an eye on, because I really don't know what they're going to do at left back, but they sure as hell need to do something. That's for sure. As much as I love Davies as a person, you can't be serious top 14 carrying players like Davies. Locko in, Davies out makes perfect sense. I think if you can get a good offer for Davies, I don't hate the idea of still having Davies for another year. But if you were to get 10 million for Davies, like you got Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton. Like if Southampton were like, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind Ben Davies. Can we get him for 10 million?" I think Spurs would look at that and go, I think we'll do it, yeah. And we all like Davies. We do. If there's anyone in the fan base that doesn't like Davies, that's more of a worry on them as a person. But yeah, as a footballer, he is coming over the top of that sort of prime peak, isn't he? Jesus Christ, on a 6'1", and to me looks like he'd be a comfy in midfield as well. Not as bulky as Udogie, thinner and more nimble. Yeah, I'd probably say that. I'd say the play style can be somewhat similar than Udogie. That's kind of how I look at it. I want my left back purchase, whoever it might be, if it's Dorgu or Locko or someone else, is to be something like Udogie's. That means the play style doesn't drastically change. You know what I mean? Look at England with Shaw and Trippier, or even Shaw and Chilwell. Shaw and Chilwell are somewhat similar in terms of they can overlap, they can get balls into the box. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but before anyone cries about that, I'm just saying play styles, they're somewhat similar. They get up and down the pitch. When you sort of go Shaw or Chilwell to then a Trippier or a Gomez, it drastically changes, I agree. Get a similar style left back. Nice. How's it feel to be a Spurs fan? Yes, all right. Ian Walker out. Oh, Jesus. Have you tried the fruit punch KA yet, Brev? I'll have a Fanta Light, please, Brev. No, I haven't. I have some fruit squash, though. Bradley Locko is a top left back. Makes me wonder whether we want only fullbacks, not a centre back, because I can't see us bringing in 3 defenders. Davies can play left centre back and play decent last season. Well, you'd have Davies featuring in the Cups and probably Europa, allowing. I mean, look, let's be frank. This preseason is a great opportunity for an Ashley Phillips or an Alfie Dorrington or someone else in the youth setup to come in and to do well and take a 4th defensive spot. Because, you've got Dragusin, you've got Kuti, you've got Mickey. Ashley Phillips. Imagine he, shows out and does really well in preseason. I would not be shocked to see him in with the first team next year. As much as I think a loan move is the more likely thing, the world works in mysterious ways. Is that not the same? Do you see Donnelly just doing a reverse Bale and starting at left back? I don't know. There's still talk about him going out on loan to the Championship. I think it'll be Ange wanting to have a look at him for a couple of weeks, seeing, because we've got loads of games over the next couple of weeks, seeing what he's got in him, and then from there making a decision. I don't see him as a left back personally. It's not like an Archie Gray where it's like he's a centre mid but can play right back. That was we don't really have a left back to play. Jamie, do you mind filling in for a bit? And ironically, he just did well. It was against League One opposition, so there is that. But I mean, the one thing you would say is, could you change a bit of the system and go, well, look, we're going to put, if Jamie was to be a left back and we were to rotate and Porro wasn't to start, well, then we've got someone at right back who's maybe more of an athlete to bomb forward, to bomb forwards. But I don't see him as left back personally. Akam Magoo, mate, you're right. Both left back and plays both left back and hopefully in midfield. Seems like a Dogie to me. I want to see Phillips and Dorrington play. Well, you'll get an opportunity hopefully this preseason to see the boys play. Remember, we still have Vuskovic to come next year. Well, yeah, it'll still be, let's give Vuskovic that time to sort of ease in and develop, Let's not expect a lot out of him straight away. I might have to unsub. Okay, come on, Andy, you'll like it. Yeah, but you said that, Mr. M, about the black grape, and it was crap. Absolute awful. Worst thing I've ever tasted is a Dogie injury. Well, he's coming back from quadricep surgery, isn't he? So he's still not completely there. So going forward, Spurs obviously play now Wednesday at 7 p.m. UK time away to Hearts. So that obviously we'll look to do a watch along for that game on Wednesday. And then we have Saturday at 3 p.m. UK time away to QPR. Maybe do something for that. We've then got the J League World Challenge final against Vissel Kobe on Saturday the 27th. So, you can see it's a little while away. It's a week after the QPR game at 11 a.m. UK time. And then the 31st of July, 4 days after that, 12 p.m. kickoff with K-League 11. So plenty of games really this month. We've got 4 games between now and the end of the month, which is great. So much opportunity to see youngsters. Hopefully you see more Mikey Moore, more Abbots, more Halls, and others obviously. I'm looking forward to seeing Archie Gray on Wednesday because he's been wowing so far. So is Bergval. I cannot wait to see Bergval. I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, Wednesday 7 p.m. we'll be doing the live stream watch along for that game. Goal mention another left-footed fullback in the youth setup, but I can't remember his name. Well, he was talking about centre backs in that article. Yeah, but the fruit punch is like summer fruits. Trust me. I don't know, Mr. M, you could have broken my trust with that grape one. When do you think Dragusian will be back? Well, look, I think. Hang on. Let's have a prediction. So, just want to check. They went out on the 2nd, so it's been nearly 2 weeks. I'd probably say another week, and then hopefully Dragusin will be back because it'd be nice to see him. He'll be back for the tour, I think. Obviously, Spurs got a tour in a little while. I think he'll be back for the tour. That's my guess. Isn't Davies 33? There goes the young philosophy with the average of. Well, it's still a philosophy, Aussie Spur. It's still a philosophy. One player doesn't change that. You got to remember Aussie Spur as well. Ange needs to move on like 16 to 20 players. You can't do that all in 1 year, So there's that. Right. So let's guys. let's obviously talk the game tonight now, because I won't be doing a 7 p.m. stream tonight. So this will be the last time you see me ahead of the game tonight. And look, I'm buzzing for the game. Obviously, I think we all are. Even if you don't support either team, you're buzzing for the game because it should be a belter. I just want to pull up Spain's team that played against Germany, because this was mostly their main team so far this tournament. Let's have a look. So in goal, Unai Simon. Right back, Dani Carvajal. Centre backs were Lenormand and Laporte, with the left back Cucurella. Midfield three was Pedri, Rodri, and Fabian Ruiz. Attacking three, Yamal, Williams, and Morata. Obviously, Pedri and Dani Olmo, they switched now. And Lenormand was traded out for Nacho. Potentially, it could have been just for the last game, but that's what they had. So it could be a team of Unai Simon, Carvajal, Nacho, Laporte, and Cucurella, Rodri, Ruiz, Olmo, Yamal, Williams, and Morata. Now, that is a good, solid team. I won't lie. That is a good, solid team. Let's look at just quick look at the team that played against France. Do you know what? They only had 6 shots against France and 2 on target. That's clinical. So, yeah, Jesus Navas obviously was starting to right back. Nacho is in as well. Obviously, Carvajal should come back in. Nacho we'll see about. The rest of the team should be the exact same, though. I'm looking forward to the game. I really, really much am. Apparently, England are naming an unchanged team from the team that won against Holland. So let me just bring that up. Just make sure I don't get it wrong, because there's nothing worse than me telling you someone's going to play and they're not. So the team against Holland, obviously, big man Jordan Pickford in goal. You had Guehi, Stones, Walker, Trippier, Rice, Mainu, Bellingham, Foden, Saka, Kane. Obviously, Shaw came off the bench. And again, I think Shaw might give us a little bit more, probably at half time sort of thing. I think Trippier might have a bit of an interesting one with Yamal. I'm not as worried about Walker as much. I don't want to see Walker at left back just to deal with Yamal. It's not the right kind of player for Walks to defend. Experience is needed, yeah, for sure. Do you see Southgate putting out the same team? Yeah, I do. Is Locko good? Need to do my homework? Oh, you do. You should have been studying more for your triple science exam, but yeah, do your research. Apparently, we're going with the same team. Tripper versus Yamal. He's going to make him look like Reguilon did in that Barca pre-season game. Seems like a doggy. I'll watch him after the stream. Sounds good. Trippier versus Yamal is not one I'd look forward to from an England perspective. Well, no, I don't. But then there's ways you get around that. There is, by saying, look, Mark Guehi needs to, keep an eye over that side. You slide midfielders maybe to a little bit more that way. Is it Bellingham that has to be a bit more alert? Is it Rice or is it a Mainu? What does it look like? Obviously, if they were to play the back three with Guehi, Stones, and Walker, then your wing back isn't going to be out on an island with him. Neither would he at fullback, obviously. But the ability to kind of surround them and sort of mask that is obviously there. Obviously, this is going to be a fantastic game in terms of it's going to be a chess match. I think there's parts of that team that you can get at. I really, really do. I think for me, looking at, Carvajal, you can get him booked. You can get him riled up. For an experienced player, he does pick up stupid fouls and bookings. Cucurella against Saka, we've seen that. Saka, we've seen, Arsenal. We've seen in the Premier League, you can do Cucurella, again, picks up stupid fouls. In terms of, the centre-back pairings, I've seen Kane give Laporte all sorts of issues before. Midfield-wise, look, Rodri is the best player on this pitch today. I think England will have the next best player in Harry Kane in terms of this season, but Rodri is the best player. He really much is. You know me. I'm a Spurs fan, but I bloody love Rodri. I love him. I love watching Rodri play. The most press-resistant footballer in the world of football at the moment today. Maybe Luka Modric on his day gives him a push, but it's still Rodri. The front three, obviously, I think is interesting. Obviously, you've got Williams and Yamal that have been fantastic this season. I think Danny Olmo actually, because of his movement, just frees them up with a lot more space. I'm not as worried about Morata. Morata's crap. Famous last words. And we've got General John Stones at the back for that. And John Stones and Mark Gray have been immense this tournament. You might even say been one of the best centre-back pairings. I hate it when people go, Stones has been better than Gray or Gray's been better than Stones. No, just together and Pickford as a trio, they've been bloody brilliant this tournament. All three of them. None of them play for my club, so I'm not even going to be biased about it. They've been fantastic this tournament. I think Walker's had a solid tournament. I think Walker's going to need to be up for it today because Nico Williams, he's not going to do him for pace, but trickery-wise, Nico's going to give him a few issues, and I'll give you my prediction in a minute, but let you give me your predictions in the chat. I want to see what you guys think. England, Spain, what's the score? If it's going to extra time or penalties, tell me what happens as well. Don't mention that, mate. I'm still effed up about it. Well, yeah. Inside science. Inside science. Look, I've got Stanford on my shirt for a reason. Wait, hang on. I'm so smart, you say. Jesus Christ on it. Cucurella annoys the SH1T out of me. When I see Chelsea play, I would love to see him get done so. Well, Saka is in some all right form for England, so we'll see what he's got. Romano's confirmed that our confirmed targets are Neze and Eto, and he said we have decided on how much money we're going to spend in that attacking area. Hopefully that is Eze. Well, they're not that different in price, if you know what I mean. We're not talking like 30, 40 million difference. We're talking sort of 10, 15 million. So I think in around that realm. So let's see. Adiz, mate, how are you, mate? You're right. Hope you're okay. We need to hit the fullbacks and play down the wings. Let Saka carry the ball and take on Cucurella. Make sure Kane and Bellingham are near the box. Well, we've got match winners in that team. We really do. And I'll give you my prediction in a minute. I don't know why Romano said that we're only going to get one attacking player. Like, why? Because that might be the case. I've been super impressed with Gueye. I know he was good, but he's been class. Well, for a guy who is very new to international football, especially international tournament football, he's been brilliant. He, out of this tournament, regardless of win or lose today, when we look at the positives of this tournament, Pickford again, really, really solid as per. Mark Gueye has been the absolute revelation of this tournament. It's not Kobe Mainoo. It's not Bellingham. It's no one else. He's been the revelation of the tournament. We have got our next centre-back pairing in John Stones and Mark Gueye. Fantastic together. Maybe not the most physically dominant in terms of, aerially. But, when they have the ball, I'm not worried. I'm not panicking, And yeah, maybe Gueye, I think Gueye will develop that side of his game even more under Glasner. But so far, he's been rock solid, He's made a couple of mistakes and, you know what I mean? It happens. It happens. So yeah, I think it'd been a revelation. Obviously, Kobe Mainoo's been brilliant, by the way. It's not there's not a dig at Kobe Mainoo. I'm just saying, he hasn't started all the games that Mark has, and Mark has missed one game, and he's been a rock solid feature. 3-0 Spain. Oh Jesus Christ, Donna. England 2-1. Yamal, Kane, and Palmer winner. A Palmer winner. 5-1 Spain. James, Jesus. Yeah, I know Van Gogh is. Kane is the only reason I want England to win tonight, says Oscar. 2-1 England, extra time. Jesus Christ on it. Harry Kane will win the game for us, apparently, she says, though. 4-3 in penalties for Spain. Oh, Van Gogh, man. I thought you'd help me here. Hart says England. Head says Spain, but wouldn't bet my mortgage on this one. No, if you're a betting man, you're a braver man than I am. Kane is never near the box. He wants to be a midfielder. Come on, James. We're better than that. For me, similar to Copa America, Hart says Colombia, but can't see Argentina losing. Perhaps Archie Gray will become the right back next to Gueye and Stones soon. Well, But I think also, you still got Trent. You still got other right backs in that scenario, haven't you, There's no reason why he wouldn't be taken as a midfielder. Because you go, well, you can play midfield and you can play right back. And versatility-wise, national teams love versatility. When you're so limited, No, good luck tonight, Andy. I hope you get the chocolates. Thanks for another quality update. Good night, all. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it, Persephone, mate. Take care. England all the way. Gray's potential to captain England. If James ever gets through his injury problems, he walks into the team. Yeah, and I'm 7'4". What's more likely, me to grow an extra, nearly 2 feet, or Reece James to stay healthy for long enough? Probably me to grow the extra 2 feet, and I'm 28, so I'm not growing anymore. I've actually never seen Nico Williams play. Looking forward to this. He's been brilliant this tournament, mate. If you haven't seen him, he's been brilliant this tournament. So for me, I think, I always when I do my Tottenham previews and reviews and things like that, I always talk about key battles, and I always talk about my predictions for the game. I think the key battle tonight isn't Rice Rodri. I think it might be Kobe Mainoo and Fabian Ruiz. I think that would be my main battle between those two. What kind of flexibility do we have in this team? Does Phil Foden get on the ball a bit more tonight? I think that will be key. I don't know. I think for me, I'm going to say 2-1 England. Go on, I'll go for it. 90 minutes, 2-1 England. I was really thinking about it. I was just not sure. I'm going to say 2-1 England. I'm going to go goal scorers. I think we'll go 1-0 England. And I think it'll be... I'll go Harry Kane. I think Spain will equalise with like Laporte or something stupid that you don't expect. But it'll be from like a set-piece header or something like that. I think Laporte, for some reason, I'm just getting that vibe. And then I think second half, 1-0. It'll be a bit like Holland. I think it'll be a bit edgy and a bit awkward. And I think Bellingham will get a goal. That's what I think. I think 2-1 England. I think Kane and Bellingham. This is where your big name players have to step up. They have to take responsibility this game and say, look, I'm one of the top strikers in Europe, or I'm one of the top players of this one. That's what I'm going to go for. I'm not 7'4", nor am I 5'4". I said nearly 2 feet. I'm 5'9". Jesus Christ, Donna. Anna, we always concede first. Well, Madsy, if we concede first, then we'll go and score 2 and win. How about that? Either way, we're winning 2-1. And I don't give a damn how it happens, as long as we win. Hell, I don't care how we play today. I really do not care. This is not about playing well today. This is just about winning. So if we have to win this game with like 5% ball possession, I'll take it. We just need to win. That's all that matters today. Who would you expect to feature between Ollie Watkins and Ivan Toney? It depends. It depends on how the game looks, because if the game's stretched, you're going to play Ollie Watkins for that sort of ability to cause some havoc with his pace. But, Nacho, not as big as a centre-back. You might go Ivan Toney because you might be able to play long against him, Spain don't want to score because then England will play better. Yeah, you've got to score in like the 94th minute and make it 1-0, or let England score first. That's the way you do it. Nico is 2 goals, then Morata for the third. Now, Morata with a third. Good Lord. Goodbye. Got to go. Goodbye and come on, England. Absolutely. I'm going to be following you there, mate, as well. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening. Obviously, come on, England. Hopefully it's coming home. And I'll see you all tomorrow anyway for the 12 p.m. stream to talk more football and hopefully talk some good things about football and obviously Spurs. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your days. Enjoy the rest of your afternoons and evenings. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone. See you later.